Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the news at 6 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. A record wheat harvest expected this year. Government may soon reimpose import duty on wheat. Food Minister Ramvilas Paswan accepts opposition's concerns, says all efforts on to protect farmers. BJP does not discriminate over caste and religion, stresses Home Minister Rajnath Singh. Rubbishes allegations that UP's new anti-Romeo squads are targeting specific castes and communities. Over 20,000 doctors across Delhi go on mass casual leave to support their colleagues in Maharashtra. Bombay High Court orders resident doctors to resume work on day 4 of the strike. The fight for Jayalalitha's seat intensifies in Chennai. Both AIADMK factions get new names and symbols. Candidates file nominations. And the London attacker was British-born and known to security services, says Prime Minister Theresa May. The man had been investigated by MI5 few years ago over violent extremism. Food and Civil Supplies Minister Ramvilas Paswan informed the Rajya Sabha on Thursday that the government is mulling on imposing import duty on wheat to protect farmers' interest. Members across political spectrum had urged the government to revoke the order scrapping import duty on wheat. Here's a report.
The government may consider imposing import duty on wheat to protect farmers amid projections of a record output this year. Food and Civil Supplies Minister Ramvilas Paswan apprised the House during 0 hour that the government did not rush into reimposing the import duty as a precaution to avert any shortage of wheat.
इस बार गेहूं का पैदावार जो है बहुत होने की संभावना है। 967 लाख टन हुआ है और जो पिछले का ओपनिंग स्टॉक्स है वो 65 लाख बैठ जाइए एक मिनट शरद जी ना 65 लाख टन का कहते की है। मैं आपसे सहमत हूं। हम लोग सिर्फ वेट कर रहे थे कि अभी मार्केट में आ रहा है, कहीं ऐसा ना हो कि कभी बारिश हो जाए, कभी ओला पड़ जाए और फिर संकट आ जाए। इसलिए जो है जो आपने कहा है इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी के अगर बढ़ाने का मामला वो सरकार के विचाराधीन है और तुरंत हम लोग निर्णय ले रहे हैं।
Earlier, several members had voiced concerns over the centre's decision to waive off import duty on wheat. The opposition banded together to slam the government for reducing the import duty from 10% to 0, dubbing the move as anti-farmer and not in national interest.
गुजरात और मध्य प्रदेश में किसान मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस जो 1625 रखा है उससे बहुत कम दाम पर अपना गेहूं बेचने को विवश है, क्योंकि जो 0% ड्यूटी है इंपोर्ट ड्यूटी उसको लगाने के लिए बढ़ाने के लिए कोई कदम गवर्नमेंट उठा नहीं रही। मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस से कम कीमत पर यहाँ गेहूं बेचने को विवश है किसान।
Sir, there was a 25% import duty on wheat. Last year, in 2015,
No, you can only associate.
it was reduced to 15.
Why it was reduced to 0? No, you cannot have a discussion now. Mantri ji, आप response करते हैं?
India is the world's second biggest wheat producer. The centre lowered the import tax on wheat to 10% from 25% in September 2015 and scrapped the duty in December last year. Wheat import has touched 55 lakh tons since then. The Ministry of Agriculture has projected wheat output at 96.64 million tons in 2017, up from 92.29 million tons last year. Without any import duty, wheat from foreign countries turn cheaper than indigenously produced wheat and add to the farmers' woes. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on Thursday said that there was no reason to worry about the curbs on H-1B visas or the job security of Indian IT professionals working in the US. Swaraj asserted in the upper house that the government is engaging with the US at the highest level to ensure that the interests of Indian people or the IT industry are not affected.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj sought to allay the fears of the members of Rajya Sabha over the effects of the steps being taken by the Donald Trump administration to check illegal immigrants in the US. Swaraj said there are 4 bills in the US Congress on curbs on H-1B visas and the government is making all efforts through diplomatic channels to ensure that these bills are not passed.
तो जहां तक H-1B और L-1 वीजा का सवाल है, हम लोग इसमें लगे हुए हैं, बातचीत लगातार कर रहे हैं कि किसी भी तरह से भारतीय आईटी इंडस्ट्री और यहाँ के प्रोफेशनल्स का हित प्रभावित नहीं होना चाहिए। और हम उन्हें ये कह रहे हैं, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, कि वो आपकी नौकरियां नहीं ले रहे, वो आपकी अर्थव्यवस्था में योगदान कर रहे हैं। जहां तक आपने सोशल सिक्योरिटी की बात की, वो मसला आज का नहीं है, वो बहुत पुराना है और उस बीच में दोनों सरकारें रही हैं।
Swaraj also stated that the US has given a list of 271 people claiming they were illegal migrants from India, but the government has not accepted it. The government would also not allow their deportation without proper verification.
और अभी जो हमें लिस्ट दी गई है, वो केवल 271 लोगों की दी गई है, लेकिन उस 271 की लिस्ट भी हमने मानी नहीं। हमने कहा हमें डिटेल्स दीजिए, हम कोई राष्ट्रीयता की जांच करेंगे, उसके बाद उनको डिपोर्टेशन के लिए हम लोग इमरजेंसी सर्टिफिकेट देंगे। तो ये कहना पहले तो कि ट्रंप प्रशासन के आने के बाद नीति परिवर्तन हुआ, ये सही नहीं है।
Responding to another query, Swaraj highlighted the measures initiated by the government to protect the interests of Tamils in Sri Lanka.
हमारा लक्ष्य है श्रीलंका के तमिलों के हितों की सुरक्षा करना। अब ये 2 तरीके से की जा सकती है, या तो फोर्सफुली करिए, जोर जबरदस्ती करके, और या एक अच्छे पड़ोसी देश के नाते उन्हें समझा बुझाकर और परसुएड करके करिए। मैं आपके माध्यम से ये बताना चाहूंगी कि ये जो रिपोर्ट है, जितने कंसर्न्स उनके हैं, वो सारे के सारे कंसर्न्स इसमें लिखे गए हैं और रेजोल्यूशन में श्रीलंका से ये अपेक्षा की गई है कि वो इनको 2017 तक पूरा करेगा। और को स्पॉन्सर होने के नाते श्रीलंका ने इन अपेक्षाओं पे खरे उतरने का वादा किया है।
Questions were also raised on the mechanism to check plagiarism and plans to improve the quality of education in the country. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday assured the Lok Sabha that the BJP government in Uttar Pradesh will not discriminate on the basis of any caste or creed. The Home Minister was replying to a question raised during Zero Hour by Congress's Ranjit Ranjan that police in UP was indulging in moral policing in the name of anti-Romeo force and that a specific caste community and youth were being targeted. Rejecting the allegations, the Home Minister said it has been only a few days since the BJP government has begun work in the state. However, if there were any such specific incidents, the government will definitely look into it. Rajnath Singh also reminded all that the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister has promised to deliver on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas.
जिस भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार इस समय उत्तर प्रदेश में है, मैं स्पष्ट करना चाहता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी कास्ट, क्रीड अथवा रिलीजन के बेसिस पर किसी भी सूरत में किसी प्रकार का डिस्क्रिमिनेशन नहीं करती है। और आपने देखा होगा कि वहां के मुख्यमंत्री जो बने हैं, उन्होंने भी अपनी पहली प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में कहा था कि मैं एक ही सिद्धांत को अपनाकर चलूंगा, सबका साथ और सबका विकास। इसी सिद्धांत को ही अपनाकर वो वहां पर वो कर रहे हैं।
Meanwhile, resident doctors in Maharashtra continue to be on mass leave for the 4th consecutive day today, even after the Bombay High Court asked them to resume work immediately. A division bench of the Chief Justice Manjula Chellur and Justice G.S. Kulkarni directed the doctors to get back to work immediately and resolve their issues amicably with the government. The court also directed the state government and hospital management to not take any punitive action against the doctors who were served show-cause notices yesterday for not resuming their duties. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis has also appealed to the doctors to call off the 4-day stir, assuring security in hospitals. Nearly 4,000 resident doctors in the state are on mass leave since Monday, demanding enhanced security after attacks on doctors by patients' relatives at government hospitals. Medical services in 17 government hospitals in Maharashtra, including 4 in Mumbai, have been affected because of the protest. Meanwhile, resident doctors in Delhi went on a day-long mass leave today in solidarity with the doctors in Maharashtra. Over 20,000 doctors from government hospitals except AIIMS remained absent from work from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in protest. However, doctors at AIIMS reported to work wearing helmets in protest against attacks on doctors.
प्राइवेट डॉक्टर्स हर एक सेक्टर में, कॉर्पोरेट हॉस्पिटल्स में सभी प्राइवेट डॉक्टर्स ने रेगुलर सर्विसेज बंद की है, सिर्फ इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज दे रहे हैं। और आप समझ सकते हैं कि हमने कल अनाउंस किया एजिटेशन और 12 घंटे के अंदर 3 डॉक्टर्स को वापस पीटा है ये मेडिकल कॉलेज हॉस्पिटल्स में। एक ही मांग है, हमें सुरक्षा दीजिए, बच्चों को सुरक्षा दीजिए, काम करने का अच्छा वातावरण दीजिए, और कुछ नहीं है।
गलत होगा, ये हमारी सामूहिक कार्य बहिष्कार, इसको हम हिंदी में कहेंगे मास कैजुअल लीव, सिर्फ ये जताने के लिए और ये बताने के लिए कि हमें भी सुरक्षित वातावरण में काम करने का हक है और ये हमारा अधिकार भी है।
The Prime Minister Narendra Modi met BJP MPs from Uttar Pradesh for breakfast today. The meeting was also attended by BJP President Amit Shah, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Senior Party Leader Murli Manohar Joshi. According to reports, the Prime Minister thanked the 71 MPs for their hard work in the state and scoring a massive win in the assembly elections. He asked the BJP parliamentarians to maintain discipline at all levels and not discriminate between constituencies represented by other parties in development-related matters. This is the Prime Minister's first such meeting with lawmakers from UP, which the BJP won this month with a thumping mandate. Meanwhile, in Tamil Nadu, the fight for former Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha's seat and her legacy has begun. Ahead of the upcoming by-poll, the AIADMK has split into two parties, one led by VK Shashikala faction and the other by O. Selvam. Let's take a look at how the fight is panning out on the day the nominations were filed.
Just 3.5 months since Tamil Nadu Chief Minister and AIADMK Chief Jayalalitha passed away, her party has split into two, just ahead of the by-poll for Jayalalitha's seat, RK Nagar. Party Chief VK Shashikala's faction will call itself AIADMK Amma. It has got hat as its election symbol. O. Selvan's group will go by the name AIADMK Purachi Talaivi Amma with electric pole as its election symbol. This after the Election Commission said on Wednesday that neither can use the AIADMK's name and the two-leaf symbol in the contest for RK Nagar in Chennai. Both sides are now claiming Amma's legacy.
We will have a mass victory in RK Nagar. Because the symbol we got is Mr. Purachi Talavar MGR was using that in a picture. That hat is very famous. And we have Amma AIADMK. We will win. Our candidate will win. We will get back our symbol very soon, two leaves.
We will restore the glory of two leaves symbol very soon. We are trying legal measures, constitutional measures in order to get this reprocessed. EC is given time till 17th of April to submit more affidavits.
AIADMK Deputy General Secretary TTV Dinagaran is contesting from Shashikala's AIADMK Amma, and E. Madhusudanan will file his nomination on behalf of the OPS-led faction.
Public is like an OPS. So, yeah, they are got confidence for the OPS.
We are happy. MGR was always seen with the hat. So that is the hat symbol of our founder.
Jayalalitha's niece Deepa Jayakumar also filed her nomination for the by-poll representing MGR Amma Deepa Peravai, floated by her after the demise of her aunt.
They are not concerned about the party's future. The party needs a strong leader and an upcoming leader who can take it forward for the next 25 years. And I really believe the chance should be given to someone from her own family because the people want it.
The DMK, on the other hand, believes the split will turn the tide in its favour. Its candidate Marutu Ganesh has filed his paper for the by-poll. BJP has fielded its candidate Gangai Amaran, hoping to gain from the fight within the party.
This will be considered a referendum on the ADMK government and a wave which is sweeping across the state in favour of the DMK party.
We want to get the victory and we will be victorious, and this Radhakrishna Nagar is known as the CM constituency. In future it will be known as PM's constituency.
The by-poll is being seen as a litmus test for both factions of the AIADMK. The voting for the by-poll will be held on April 12th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now there's more relief for blast-accused Swami Asimanand. He has been granted bail by a Hyderabad court in the Mecca Masjid blast case. The former RSS member will be released from jail soon after the formalities are completed. 9 people were killed and several others injured when an IED exploded inside the mosque in Hyderabad on May 18, 2007. Asimanand had earlier confessed upon the role of a right-wing activist in the attack, but he later retracted his statement. He, along with 6 others, was also acquitted by a National Investigation Agency special court in the Ajmer Dargah blast case earlier this month. Asimanand is also a co-accused in the Samjhauta Express and Malegaon blast cases. Here's an update of the news from across the country and nationwide. The Union Cabinet has approved setting up of a new commission for socially and economically backward classes, replacing the National Commission for Backward Classes. The new body will have a chairperson, a vice chairperson and 3 other members. The Cabinet's decision comes in the wake of the ongoing demand by the Jat community for their inclusion in the list of backward classes. Militants attacked a police vehicle in Shopian district of Kashmir. The militants opened fire on the vehicle, escorting the bulletproof car of Shopian MLA Mohammad Yusuf. No one was injured in the incident, but a police vehicle and the MLA's car suffered some damage while security forces returned the fire. Nominations for the by-elections to the Malappuram Lok Sabha seat in Kerala and 2 assembly constituencies in Tamil Nadu and Sikkim began on March 16th, while scrutiny of nominations will be held on March 24th. The last day to withdrawal of the candidature is March 27th. Voting will take place on April 12th. Counting of votes for the assembly constituencies will take place on April 15th, and for the Kerala Lok Sabha seat will be on April 17th. A protest by Anganwadi workers in Karnataka demanding a raise in their pay entered the 4th day on Thursday. They continued to stage a sit-in in Bengaluru. Around 10,000 Anganwadi workers were demanding that the honorarium paid to Anganwadi teachers be increased from 6,000 rupees to 10,000 rupees a month, and for helpers from 3,000 to 7,500 rupees a month. They are also protesting for the regularization of their employment. Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The Aditya L1, this is going to be the first Indian mission to observe the sun. Coming back to Astrosat, we have spent many years first developing the individual payloads. The first time we have developed X-ray optics in the country. First time we have developed UV optics in the country.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Sita Somasundaram, Program Director, SSPO at ISRO, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Pakistan High Commissioner to India Abdul Basit on Thursday once again raised the Kashmir issue while expressing Islamabad's desire to have good relations with India. Abdul Basit was speaking to the media during Pakistan's 78th Republic Day celebrations in New Delhi. He also extended support for Kashmiri separatists, saying their struggle is for freedom. Pakistan Day is observed every year on March 23rd to commemorate the passing of the Lahore Resolution in 1940 in the annual session of the All India Muslim League.
हमारे तमाम हमसायों के साथ हमारे ताल्लुकात भी बेहतर हों और ख़ास तौर पर हम चाहते हैं कि भारत के साथ हमारे ताल्लुकात बेहतर हों और जितने भी हमारे मसाइल हैं, तनाज़ात हैं, उनको हम पुरअमन तरीके से हल करें और ख़ास तौर पर जम्मू और कश्मीर का मसला है। हम चाहते हैं कि उस पर भी कश्मीरी जो अवाम है उनकी उमंगों के मुताबिक ये मसला भी हल होना चाहिए।
Some more international news now. Britain has confirmed that yesterday's terror attack in Westminster was inspired by Islamist terrorism and the attacker was known to Britain's security services. The British Parliament opened on Thursday as Prime Minister Theresa May joined MPs who observed a minute's silence to commemorate the London attack. 4 people were killed in the worst attack in London since 2005. 7 people have been arrested so far.
Order, colleagues, in respectful memory of those who lost their lives in yesterday's attack and of all of the casualties of that attack, we shall now observe a minute's silence.
A minute's silence being observed in the British Parliament a day after the terror attack on Westminster in which 4 people were killed. Tributes were also paid at the police headquarters at New Scotland Yard in honour of the policeman who was stabbed to death by the attacker.
Yesterday, an act of terrorism tried to silence our democracy. But today we meet as normal, as generations have done before us and as future generations will continue to do, to deliver a simple message. We are not afraid.
7 people have been arrested after raids by anti-terror officers across London and Birmingham. British police believes the attack was Islamist-related and are checking if the attacker was supported by anyone. The identity of the attacker, who was also killed, is being withheld.
It is still our belief, which continues to be borne out by our investigation, that this attacker acted alone and was inspired by international terrorism. To be explicit, at this stage, we have no specific information about further threats to the public.
There's a major police investigation, obviously, to find out exactly who this attacker was, how he got hold of the vehicle, where the vehicle has been, whether he had associates, whether anybody else was involved in that. That operation has been going on since yesterday afternoon and right through the night. That is a standard police investigation, but it is obviously a very large operation with a lot of resources being devoted to it.
Meanwhile, commuters in London were defiant on Thursday as they returned to work, insisting it is business as usual.
You know, it's fate, isn't it? I think you just have to go on with your life and as normal, and if something happens, well, what can you do about it? You've always got to go from A to B.
You know, I'm working up here, whether it'll happen again, got fingers, no, innit? But you don't know. But life's got to go on. Life has got to go on.
And it just makes me more determined that these awful people aren't going to get away with it. Why should we stop living our lives the way we do for these nutters?
The attack occurred at 2:40 p.m. local time when the attacker drove his car through the crowd over Westminster Bridge, running over pedestrians. He then got out of his car and fatally stabbed police officer Keith Palmer on the Parliament premises. It was the most lethal terrorist attack in Britain since 2005, when 52 people and 4 attackers died in attacks on the London Tube. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Lok Sabha on Thursday remembered revolutionaries Bhagat Singh, Rajguru and Sukhdev on their death anniversary on Thursday, saying the nation will never forget their sacrifice. The lower house of Parliament also condemned the terror attack outside Parliament House in London. The House observed 2-minute silence in memory of those killed in the attack on Wednesday.
The House condemns this act of terrorism and stands in solidarity with the Parliament. Government and the people of United Kingdom in this hour of crisis and supports the efforts of United Kingdom to bring to book the perpetrators of such terrorist violence.
Many world leaders have condemned the attack and voiced solidarity with the United Kingdom after the deadly attack. Let's listen in.
Very tragic. To give our thoughts and prayers to those victims. Awful what happened.
お亡くなりになった方々に対しまして、どこからご冥福をお祈りしたいと思いますし、負傷された皆様にお見舞いを申し上げたいと思います。
Bon, j'ai appris au cours de l'après-midi l'attaque terroriste qui a eu lieu à Londres aujourd'hui. Nous exprimons au nom de la France toute notre solidarité, tout notre soutien au peuple britannique et à la Première ministre Theresa May.
We work very, very closely indeed with our allies, including the United Kingdom and the United States and many other partners around the world. But we must be clear-eyed about the risk. It is real, and that is why the terror threat level is set at probable.
정부는 3월 22일 수요일 영국 런던 의사당 인근에서 발생한 민간인에 대한 야만적인 공격 사건을 강력히 규탄한다.
昨天在英国伦敦发生的恐怖袭击事件表示强烈的谴责，向无辜的遇难者致以深切的哀悼，向遇难者的家属和伤者表示诚挚的慰问。习近平主席、李克强总理和王毅外长都已经分别就此。
Well, here's a roundup now of the other international news and global buzz. Recognizing the challenges in the Middle East, U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said that defeating the Islamic State terror group is Washington's #1 goal. Addressing the 10th meeting of the 68-member global coalition in Washington, Tillerson further added that the group is united in stopping the ISIS resurgence, halting its global ambitions and discrediting its ideological narrative. This was the first full meeting of the coalition since 2014. China's foreign ministry has warned Japan not to meddle in the disputed South China Sea after its second big helicopter carrier, the Kaga, went into operation. This comes after Japan's Maritime Self-Defense Force commanders took possession of the 248-meter-long vessel in Tokyo on Wednesday. The vessel has been designated as helicopter destroyers to keep within the bounds of a war-renouncing constitution that forbids possession of offensive weapons. Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong met with his Vietnamese counterpart Nguyen Xuan Phuc Chai in Hanoi today. They held discussions on a range of issues including defense and economy. Both the leaders also witnessed the signing of a series of agreements in the areas of energy, finance and investments. Vietnam and Singapore established diplomatic relations in 1973. A large number of injured civilians still remain inaccessible to medical treatment as fighting between the Iraqi forces and the Islamic State militants intensified in Mosul. Many residential houses close to the front line have been abandoned. As casualty figures climb, more heavy weapons have been dispatched to the battlefields. That's it on this newscast. Have a good evening.